All right, guys. So I'm talking about social media again today. And here is my topic that supports everything on this. So obviously we're talking about goals. We're in fourth quarter. We're always setting goals and figuring out what we want to be selling and how many homes and all the things, right? So obviously you guys know there's two things that I'm passionate about how I've grown my business. And the biggest one is social media. So this is what I truly believe. Your effort, the time that you show up on social media is in direct proportion to how much money you make. So I want to help you guys come up with additional ideas if you don't feel like you're showing up enough, of things that you can do to be more relevant on social media. I feel like some of you have told me that, like, I know I need to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not showing up enough. So let's talk about it. And I've kind of brainstormed some things that I still do and that I did in the beginning. So I really, really believe that. And if I cannot say it enough, I will say it one more time. How much you show up on social media is in direct proportion to your paycheck. It's my one thing. I have a couple things, but it's so important. And by the way, if you don't want to, if it's not your thing, you can find another thing. You can buy Zillow leads, you can door knock, you can do different things. But to me, this is just a natural, especially for the people on here. You guys are talented, interesting humans. People want to follow you. So I couldn't say it enough. So I just think it's really, really important. I want to talk about these things that you can do, even if you're new and you don't have any content or whatever it is. Let's talk about it. So it can be hard as a new agent to figure out content, right? I'm always a big advocate. You guys have heard me say it, adding value. There's a lot of people showing up and they're, I don't know. I mean, you can see people that you yourself follow and then maybe unfollow because you get annoyed with their content, right? I'm always trying to come from a place of adding value. I know a lot of people have said to me, I was just talking to someone today and just had, actually, Taya mentioned it to me today with somebody that she was talking to as well. People will say, but I don't want to do social media. I don't like showing up on social media. I just feel uncomfortable. It's just not my thing. It was not my thing either. But if you want to change your life, if you want to make money, and I truly believe that it's a free medium. Yes, you can pay, but it's a free medium, however you decide to use it, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Reels, whatever it is, show up. And this is what I want to say too. In the beginning, when you're not doing major volume, look busy. People don't know. You could have no houses for sale and you could look like the busiest person out there. Like, oh my gosh, like they're watching you for a few months, and at 6 months, they're like, you've sold no homes probably. Maybe you're helping somebody else with opens, but they're like, oh my gosh, you are just like killing it. I know some of you guys have said that to me because you're using different social content of the teams, right? But you can, no matter what you're using, you can do things. They're not going to make you money in the beginning, but you can do things to make yourself look busy and be relevant and add value all at the same time. So I'd really encourage you. I have ideas for you, but I encourage you to figure it out and start thinking of things, how you could add value and look busy on social media every single day. And you guys got to figure out how much that is. Like, too much is kind of annoying. You got to figure out that sweet spot. But I would say showing up on social media every day is super important. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to go through like 5. Okay, so the first thing I would say is, obviously, with a listing in the beginning, sometimes you just don't have your own listing. When you are new in this business, most of the time you will work with buyers first, and then you will develop listings. For some of you, Ashley, right off the bat, you have listings. She works for a builder already. So that is fantastic for her. But for a lot of people, you have to build it up. You usually start with buyers, and then eventually you'll get to listings, right? So in the beginning, how can you do that if you don't have any listings? So if you are part of a team, well, that is just, and this is what I didn't have in the beginning, is I didn't have any listings. I didn't have anyone's to show. If you're part of a team, you have a built-in network of listings that you can own and show. Okay. If you are not part of a team, you can talk to other agents and be like, hey, not only can I hold your listing open, but hey, can I promote your listing? Do you mind if I just show this for sale? A lot of people aren't going to let you do that. You can't quite own it like it would be if you were on a team, but there's things that you can do. Okay. So if it's not your listing, you can ask other people. Be careful if it's across brokerages. I would ask within your brokerage. There's probably rules on that. I live in a gray area, so I wouldn't be afraid to, sorry, I got to shut something down. I wouldn't specifically be afraid. That is so weird. I wouldn't be afraid to ask somebody, even if they were at another brokerage, as long as I would have written permission on email to show it on social media. But you can ask people and you can do things like that. Okay. If you are on a team, I want to talk about that. If you are on a team and you have team listings, wow, there's a lot of places that you could show up. So yesterday we had, was it yesterday? Sarah showed up to one of my photo shoots, 53rd. So photo shoot. So this is beginning to end almost. Actually, you were with the list, you were at the listing appointment with me too. So we did coverage, listing appointment here. Do you think we got it? Yes, we got it. And now we're doing photos. So there's so many steps with a listing that you could have opportunity to do social media. So photo coverage. Here I'm at photo coverage. Aerials are included. Oh, here's my photographer. He's doing aerials. And then you can show it. So video. Use your own video from your own camera. A lot of times it's not the Dan's awesome perfected video that gets the most hits. It's our stuff. And people in this market, there's, they're looking for coming soons. All of a sudden you're showing a coming soon, right? So photography. And then, when I'm there at a photo appointment, I do videos of myself. Hey guys, this is coming soon. Wayzata Schools, $750,000. Reach out if you'd like a tour. Then I show home. Then take two. Hey guys, just hit the market. Wayzata Schools open houses this weekend, $750. Awesome opportunity, like new Lennar Construction. Reach out for a tour or stop by the open. I have now just done 2 videos, and on Friday when it goes live, I can post that video. So I just do a bunch of content. So there you have that. Then if you do an open, obviously you have more content. If you're in multiple offers, under contract, open house, under contract, sold, all the things. And if you have a good designer, which we do as a team, if you are an independent agent, pay someone or do it yourself on Canva. But there's many different ways with all that photography to even make that one listing look different. Right? Like you could show the back of the house, the front of the house, the inside, whatever is pretty. But all of a sudden you could have one listing or promote one listing and it could look like a million different listings. Okay. So that's my idea on that. So that's number 1. 2, to parallel with that is open houses. If you're on a team, you have an opportunity to, do open houses. But if you're not, you need to drum up business and you can be asking people. And I love it. Austin and I just had this conversation the other day, and I love it because it's what I had to do in the beginning. Even though Austin is on our team, he is on the east side and we don't have open houses out there. So he has to hustle and ask people to do their open houses. Now, you guys know that's the second way I really grew my businesses, with open houses. And you might have to do a few of them to get a buyer, but once you get a buyer, they're a lot of times a seller, and all of a sudden it's $1 million transaction all the way around. And I think it's brilliant. The majority of realtors do not want to do opens. Majority of realtors don't want to work on the weekends. The majority of the work of realtors don't want to put in a lot of effort, but we're happy to, right? Because all of a sudden, even if you've asked somebody and you can't promote their listing, you could promote their open. And you can say, you're not saying this is my listing. You're just saying, hey guys, I'm at this open house today from 11 to 2, stop by, let's do a tour. People don't know. People don't know if it's your listing or not. And don't lie. Make sure you have permission. I've never gotten called on it, but have written permission in an email. So-and-so has permission to, advertise or talk about this listing on social media. I'd cover your buns in case you need to. Okay. But that's one. And there's so much you can do for that. Like there's just the energy that it creates. Even, I've said this, even if you sit at the open, Sarah did one last weekend for me and only had one person through, but all the social media that it creates, this is with your network. It's with people that you want to trust you. So people that are following you on social media right now, your friends, if you're new, they don't trust you yet. They might never trust you. but you can give them a reason over time, because I've had it happen. And people, Trevor Stahl didn't use me years ago when I was a new realtor. Now he just relocated somewhere for work, and he just had me sell his 800 or so in Wayzata schools. He didn't trust me the first round. I stayed connected. I showed value. He watched me grow, and he used me. So I just really encourage you guys with your friends. That's who's following you right now, right? Friends, family, show them, show up, add value, be relevant. Sold another house, then there's some personal, right? Like, you are trying to show these people that you are a relevant realtor who is full-time and completely involved, and your SHIT. Okay. So that's why it's all important. Okay. So that was my off take, but that was number 2, open houses. Okay. Number 3, and this is something for me that I did in the beginning because I didn't have anyone's listings and not a lot of open houses. Hold on, I want to circle back. Sorry, back onto open houses with what Austin did. So Austin's on the east side. He doesn't have any. I mean, you do have some listings out there, but he's been asking other realtors, hey, can I hold your house open? People don't want to do it. That's so brilliant. That's what I had to do in the beginning. Find someone. And if you find a team or somebody who's busy and doesn't want to do them, be like, hey, let me hold it open for you. I'll even promote it on social media. And then it makes them look good to their clients, because sellers like open houses a lot of times. It makes them feel like, you're doing a good job. So then you make them look good, and then give them great content. Here are the positives and the negatives, and, make it really easy for them so they want to ask you again. So you can almost develop a relationship. Taya, you did this in the beginning with a couple realtors. Shelby did it too, where all of a sudden you're kind of their go-to, and they're like, hey, do you want to do this one this weekend? Do you want to do this one? And you're their go-to. And then your signs are out all weekend. You're getting social media coverage. It's just an absolute win-win. So for some of you, for opens, you might have to work harder developing relationships with other people, other realtors within your brokerage. Find the people who don't want to work on the weekends, who don't want to do open houses. Don't tell them your secret of, hey, it's actually pretty darn effective, and do them yourself. And that's another way to show up on social. Okay, now, next. 3 is new construction and trends. And I'm really passionate about this because I had nothing in the beginning. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I like to show trends. I was in new construction, and that just kind of became my thing. There are so many model homes, right? Just had the parade of homes, so many model homes. You could go through a model home and make it a goal once a week, twice a week, whatever it is. And you are in front of there doing social. Hey guys, standing in front of Lennar today. I'm going to take you through, show you the trends. This is actually $750 in Wayzata schools, which is shocking because Lennar used to be $550 and now it's $750 or $8. But all of a sudden you're talking about different trends and different, pricing, and you're showing everyone, whether they're in the market or not, wants to see home trends. They drive by models all the time and they don't stop in them, and they totally want to see it. Oh, I've always wanted to look in that home, right? So you guys showing this content on social media, people will follow you and like what you're doing, even if they're not buying a home. And then they're going to think of you because they're going to be like, oh yeah, so-and-so, did you see Marie's post on that? Did you see Austin's post on that? Or, hey, I know a realtor on the east side. Actually, Austin, I heard he's, you know what I mean? You just become relevant with people and show trends over time. So I love that idea because model homes are always open. 6 years ago, when I started this business, they were like, you better call corporate and make sure that you can have permission. And now they're like, thank you. Please show our home. Tag us. The other day, we had a team meeting at Hanson Homes. I think they reshared that. I'm trying to remember for sure. I think they reshared that. Every once in a while, Parade of Homes, I tagged some things. That's what it was. Parade of Homes, I tagged some Hanson. Parade of Homes shared mine. So that can be a goal too. Like all of a sudden, you tag someone and you show gorgeous content of their home, because none of these builders are doing it well. Do you know a builder? Ashley, maybe you are because you work for a builder and you're good with it, but the majority of builders are not doing it well. The salespeople are not trained. They're not incentivized. It is not part of their job description. So you are helping them by doing social media. Okay, so that's an easy one. If you don't have anything else, you could decide to time block, and every week you're showing up at a different builder. You could do it twice a week. There's so many builders, whether you do nationals, big ones, whatever it is. Okay, so that's my number 3. Number 4, also inspired by Austin, whoop, whoop, is like city. Well, he's doing Chamber of Commerce. So like city information. Okay, so like Wayzata, restaurants, right? Restaurants in Wayzata, owning that area, showing new things, right? Austin does Chamber of Commerce. He's targeting Stillwater and the east side. So all of a sudden he's doing Chamber of Commerce events where he's at new restaurants. And it's so interesting because I don't know what you've shown a distillery, right? You showed it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like, I want to do that when I go to Stillwater. So different cities would probably be better for that. There's another realtor, Art Hayes. If you guys don't follow him, he's Edina and focuses in the city of Edina, but he'll do like little restaurant tours and, eat there, whatever. But if you're focused on an area, if, I'm like all the west side, but like if you're focused specifically in Stillwater or that area or Wayzata, you could decide, every once in a while, maybe it's only once a month, maybe it's once a week, maybe you really own it, right? And you do little tours on the city to talk about the city. Be careful. I was going to say, talk about schools, careful, don't talk about schools, you get in trouble, but just of making the city fun, right? And just truly being very, very knowledgeable in that area. Okay. 5, market updates. I mean, I try to do this at least once a month. It could be, I wouldn't say once a week. You do it once a month or once or twice a month. I mean, this market is changing a lot. People want to know about it. People want to know, am I still going to make, am I still going to make $1 million on my $200,000 home? Right? Like, some people are unrealistic, some aren't, but like, it's good content to put out there because it's changing so much. If you want a market evaluation, you just want me to come over and, tell you what your home might be worth, you know what I mean? Or not even that. I'm just saying, here's what's going on in the market. It's October already in Minnesota. It slowed down for a half a second. We weren't getting as many offers, and now we're feeling it heat right back up. And also, not only is it a good time to sell, because there's a major lack of inventory, all the comps from 6 months ago that didn't have good appraisals, they've all settled now. So those comps we are using to price your home. So all of a sudden now your home is going to be priced higher. Like, little tidbits that we are learning throughout the week to help people know what's going on in the market. Every time I do those, somebody reaches out and asks something, whether they, want to meet or not. It just generates interest. So that's another thing that you can be doing. Whether you guys take any of these 5 ideas and do something with them or not, I would figure out what your thing is. Sarah had a great idea the other day. She's meeting with a lender. You're going to start to do maybe market updates with that lender or things that are relevant with that lender. I don't know. We talked about it, but maybe she's doing it once or twice a month, and all of a sudden that's her thing. So their market updates, it's about, rates or whatever it is. And that's just something consistently that she does. So I would really encourage you guys to figure out how you are going to, if you're having a hard time right now coming up with content, obviously we can always show trends, but if you're having a hard time coming up with content, think about those things. And maybe it's just a combination, and maybe you're fly by the seat of your pants like me. I mean, that's me. Here's a market update. Here's some trends. Now I'm at a builder. Here's a house for sale. Now I'm at an open house. I'm all over the place because I'm busy now. But before I wasn't, and I would do a lot of going in model homes and doing a lot of trends. So figure out what that is. Develop a plan and stick to it and be consistent. Okay. The last thing I will say about this and showing up on social media is people want to see you. They want to see what you're doing. They're interested in your life. When you are a realtor, they're hiring you. My belief is they're not hiring your brokerage. They're hiring you. They believe in you. They like you. They trust you. They think you're going to do a good job. So they also are very interested in your life a little bit. And that was hard for me to do right away. I'd see you younger people doing it. Taya did it all day long and did it amazing and had way more followers than me. It took me a little bit to feel comfortable. I'm not a sharer. Typically, I don't, here I'm at a restaurant. I'm not a typical selfie person, although I've became one. And I would just say, for those of you who say too right now that you don't love social media, you don't love to show your face, you can change that. Get over it if you want. Otherwise, find another medium, right? But get over it. If you're uncomfortable, you don't feel like you look good in front of the camera, there's some different apps you can use. Get over it, because it really can be an absolute game changer to get you more business with the people that you know, for family and friends to like and trust you and get you more business. I absolutely think it's a game changer. So show yourself, show what you're doing in your comfort level. There's some things that you're not going to post. It's your life, you decide. My youngest, Zach, is not comfortable with me posting a lot, so I don't post a lot about him. My relationship right now, I finally, after 9 months, I posted something the other day and got a lot of engagement, actually. So I'll start filtering that in maybe here and there, but I am selective about what I put in there. You don't have to put everything. Everyone has a different comfort level, but people do want to know about you. There's also people that's all they do is post about themselves. And then people are like, well, do you even sell real estate? So I think it is important to mix it up. But those are some of my ideas. And back to my original topic. How much money you make is completely related to how much you're showing up on social media. And if you don't want to own social media, find another way. You can call people every day, because when I was trained to call 20 people a day and ask if they wanted to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And I didn't want to do that. I also didn't want to door knock. I didn't want to do a lot of those other things, but there's other ways. You could buy Zillow leads. There are other ways that you can generate business. It does not have to be social media. I just, however, have found it very, very, very effective. I have had to completely get over myself and, be comfortable with the uncomfortable and just do it. So there you go. That is my 2 cents. Again, on social media. So I'm going to log off here and we'll talk about another topic next. Hang tight here, guys.